bone to pick with you.
What, Kylie? What did I do now?
When or how soon after the first film did you know that you were going to work on this sequel?
I knew pretty quickly after. Not too quick. I think the day after we had our interview, I found out. So
Okay, well then that's even worse because when I interviewed you for the first film, I said,
Yes.
hey, you know, if you need an extra person to voice a new girl playing
we
in a
did
sequel,
call you. We left messages.
maybe you have the wrong phone
I
number.
think that
It
you
ends
left the
with
wrong
a
contact.
7, not a
If-
6.
That's what it was. Maybe
I
if
never
we
got
do the
that
next
message.
one, then we can.
I actually know because I was speaking to the head of story, Art Hernandez.
Yes.
And I was like, wait a second, it's only been a year since the first film, and animated films take 3 to 4 years. So you guys have been working on this before. And he's like, I'm
Disney
like,
magic.
Sneaky.
Disney magic. They were toiling, really. They,
Mm-hmm.
once you get with this gang, they are for real. They are working on it 24/7.
But I think that you sort of alluded to it in your Under Oath tour. I went to your show in downtown LA, by the way. It is my favorite show that I had been
That was
to.
a great show,
It was
and thank
so
you for being
good.
there.
Because at the very end, you had this skit, and you talked about going to the El Capitan Theater
And
to watch
seeing-
this kid watch your movie. And it was so funny. I was dying laughing.
Yeah. I remember that show, and I remember that was my encore story. I came
Yes.
out and told a story about finally seeing planes with a group of kids at the El Capitan.
And it came off a little creepy, but you wanted...
No, I was saying I didn't want to be creepy.
Right,
That's how it
because
came
it
off.
could have sounded creepy.
Exactly.
But
I
what
did the old yapple dapple 1-2 punch in there.
I learned that you learned something from this whole experience working on a kid-friendly film, and that is...
Why don't you tell everybody?
He just got really excited about watching a kid's face light up because
That's
you said
right.
the intro happened, the music
Because I
is
was
all
sitting
going.
next to this little kid and he was crying and he was excited, and I'd snuck into the theater, and then midway through I realized I'm a grown man sitting by myself watching a strange little boy crying at a movie, and I realized that that's not exactly the right message that I need to be.
But I'm sure that made you...
I actually brought him back a toy though. I actually went out and I got him one of the toys that I had. I had a whole bunch of swag with me, and it was kind of a cool moment because it was the first kid that really heard me as Dusty, and he was psyched. He was
Yeah.
so happy. So it was not a creepy moment. It was an uplifting moment.
And it's even more of a reason to come back for the sequel.
Yes, I mean, listen, you got to come back from the sequel because in that traditional Disney sense, we're taking the characters to a whole new, playing field. That's what I love about these films, is that it's not a revamp, it's not kind of a reboot, it's an evolution of character, and that's such a thrill to be a part of.
In the film, there is this quote about Blade, the character, and that is...
Blade Ranger, yes.
Yes, and
Mr.
that-
Ed Harris
Yes,
as the voice of
really
Blade
good.
Ranger. Epic
A little
voice.
intimidating, but
a little
yes.
scary, yep.
Okay, so this quote is, he used to pretend to save lives, now he actually does. And for someone who has a career based on pretending to be someone, have you ever played a character that made you think about quitting your day job, or maybe gave you the desire to be a little bit more like that person?
I just finished a film where I played an astronaut, and I truly was like, okay, I could do this. The training, the simulations, and I have no math brain. That's the unfortunate part. You need to know a little bit of math to some extent. But I would gladly give up entertainment if I could literally be shooting for the stars.
Well, it could always happen. I just watched planes, and I already am trying to find someone to let me fly a plane without having to actually do the classes and everything.
Well, there are some places. There's a couple spots where
Yes.
you can go and get your aviation's license out here in LA.
I just might.
Made in Hollywood.